Every day, chat and chart live during the New York session. Here, real traders share the raw truth, their mindset, technical analysis, and execution. This is where real traders show their skill set. Welcome to Tradin TV. This is your stage to show.
Hello guys, how are you?
Hello.
Hi all.
Hello.
Good evening, everyone.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Hi.
Yes, here, all
Yeah,
good.
I can hear you.
Amazing.
Okay, so let me do the intro, please. So, hello, everyone, and welcome to New York live trading session. It's Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. Rosa, good to join you again. And very nice to meet you, ZAMCO and Saai. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here.
Great. So as always, let's make sure we provide value to our traders and everyone watching the live stream. And of course, let's have a good time. Okay, guys, ladies first. So we start with Rosa, as always. What do you have for us today, Rosa?
I don't have much at the moment, so let's see how the market develops in the next few minutes because
The gold is
gold
good
has
today,
been
no?
crazy. Yeah, gold's been crazy this morning.
Yeah.
But I didn't catch any trade, so I wasn't trading this morning. So I'm just waiting for a reversal, and then I'll try to jump in on the buy side. But
Yeah.
let's see how it goes.
What about you, Zamko?
It's a bit tricky for me to tell right now because the new monthly candle has just opened up. It's the first week, and then we also have NFP coming up. So I don't really have much of a direction yet for anything really. Like I know gold's just pushing up and up and up, but it's not really retracing much, so it doesn't really give me an entry. So it's a bit tricky right now.
What about you, Sai?
I'm a day trader, so I just got a gold buy somewhere in the London after the London close. I bought the pre-open of New York, so the trade is still running. It's in my master account right now.
And what's your target?
I am just trialing right now at the moment, but one of my levels is at 3574, but that's way far away right now. I don't think so it is gonna go there. So currently in a trial, so whenever
Well,
F15
to me, it's not far at all because, I've been holding gold since it was 3,300. So, yeah, I hold trades.
I would say for a day trader, it is very far.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. So no, I'm a swing trader for those of you who don't know. So remember Rosa, the trade I showed you the other day, the one on gold, the swing trade.
Yes.
Let me share my screen 1 second. Okay, so I had it. Where did I have it? Yeah, so it was here. It stops 40. So I'm targeting 3,600 now, but let's see how that goes. 1 second, let me share my screen.
Wow,
Where is
300,
it?
600.
There it is. Yeah. Okay, so there it is. The entry was at 3,300. My stop loss was at 3,240, but I moved it now to 3,300, so at break even. And I'm waiting for 3,600, which is, we're almost there. We're $50 away from that. The reason I took this trade is because we were doing something called the Elliott triangle, which is A, B, C, D, E, and also classic technicians would call it a symmetrical triangle. So that's how I entered. I entered on E, and it has to stay above C. So that was my stop loss, which was 3,240. And as for the target, I used Fibonacci extensions to see the 1.272 level, which is around 3,600. That's how I took this trade. So hopefully I'll get I'll collect my TP before the end of this week, and I think that's it for me this year. I'm going to stop trading for the rest of the year.
Wow.
Yeah. So what about you guys? What else do you have? Like anyone like looking at Nasdaq, for example? I know Rosa likes Nasdaq.
Yes, but as an intraday, I only look at Nasdaq once the US market has started. So I will analyze it in an hour and a half. So let's see. I didn't take any trade yesterday. Nothing came up.
Nothing, yeah?
And yeah, today is a bit weird because I'm just trying for the price to get higher, around 23,414, but
Okay.
it's been a bit difficult. So it might be a resistance or an area to have a look later. I don't know yet.
Okay, so you're talking about 23,490
Yeah,
or 450,
414, 15 around
14,
this.
15. Okay,
Yeah, if you go to the 1 minute, it's high highs on the past 2 hours
yeah,
for the past 2 hours. So
all right.
I'm expecting the price just to go higher. It's not easy for the price for now, so it's in a bit.
All right, all right. So what about you guys? What do you trade? What are your thoughts on Nasdaq? Do you trade Nasdaq?
Uh, I trade Nasdaq, but
Okay.
I mostly trade the futures market with Nasdaq. I don't trade the CFD part, so
Okay.
I mostly check after the 9:30 EST. So for now, it looks bullish on a very higher time frame because it tried to
It got
break down.
rejected, yeah.
Yeah, it was trying to break down. It just did a V reversal back again into the range. So
Correct.
expecting a higher move from here. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, okay, I see. What about you, Zamko? What do you have for us?
I am currently bullish on Nasdaq and German 40. Just short
Okay.
term though. For German 40, I feel like today's daily candle is going to make a bullish daily candle, and then the next daily candle can potentially wick up into the daily fair value gap that is probably going to create today, and then maybe we can see some bearish moves in the rest of the week. So I feel like overall is downside, but for today I think German 40 and Nasdaq are going to be bullish.
Okay, okay. I'm inclined more toward the bullish side, to be honest, on both DAX and Nasdaq, and gold, and gold. I see it's still going up. Um, Guys, did anyone analyze the dollar index, the DXY?
Not me.
Yeah, I think it's starting a move to the downside because euro is actually charging to start a move to the upside, which is the inverted chart of the DXY. So I don't know. That's it. Let's see. Let's get to know each other a bit. So I saw that ZAMCO has been trading for the past 7 years, right?
Yeah, 7 years.
How did you start and why did you start? What's your background?
So when I was in college, a friend of mine introduced me to trading, and
Okay.
he basically took me to an event where it was basically like a pyramid scheme. It was called IML. So he took me to this pyramid scheme type company where they teach you how to trade, but it's mainly to refer people to the program and kind of make an income from that. So it was quite a bit of a pyramid scheme. But I realized quite quickly that this is a scam, but they are teaching you how to trade. So that kind of made me think about this trading thing. I'm like, oh, okay, so I can learn to trade and maybe I can do that. I never really thought about doing it before, but he kind of just introduced me to it. So this was back in college 7 years ago. And since then, I've been trading for 7 years, and 6 of those years I've been unprofitable. And only last year, April, I had my first payout of $2,000. And since last year, April, I've done over 680,000 in prop firm payouts.
Wow. So all from prop firms?
Yeah.
So you didn't just like take the payout and deposit it somewhere else? Only from, that's impressive.
Just from prop firms.
So what changed? What was the breakthrough?
So I think that getting married was the biggest change for me, because for those 6 years of unprofitability, I was.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. I was completely non-self-reflective. I would not self-reflect. I wasn't responsible for my actions, and I believe that's why I was stuck in a loop of making the same mistakes again and again all throughout those 6 years. And then after getting married, I quickly learned that I have to really self-reflect and really be self-aware of what I'm doing and alter things. So my wife helped me with that. She really helped me self-reflect. And I think that's where I started picking up on my weaknesses and started developing habits and kind of a strategy to combat my weaknesses that I didn't realize I had. And that's kind of what changed my mindset to trading. And then suddenly, bang, I'm just profitable.
Nice. So the moral of the story, if you want to become profitable, get married, yeah?
Basically, yeah. But also, don't just get married for the sake of getting married. Rather, approach it understanding that you need to work hard and you need to really self-reflect. And because some people get married and they're still like an idiot whilst they're married because they just don't care. But if you really
I know some of those.
Huh?
I know some of those.
Exactly. So it does happen where people just get married. They don't really care to improve themselves to be better for their wife. So it's not going to work then. But of course, if you're approaching it with the mindset that you want to be the best person that you can.
Do you have any kids?
Not yet, no.
Wait till you have kids. I think it'll change even more.
Oh, absolutely. I do think that would be the case, yeah.
So what about you, Saif? What's your background? And why did you start trading?
Yeah, so I started almost the same time, I think around 6 to 7 years back, but that was not ideally the forex markets or the futures markets. I started with Indian markets. I used to stay back in India, and for some reasons I moved to the UK for some kind of a contract work and all. So that's where I started. Like I was trading back in India as well. I used to like create algo systems and all that stuff in terms of technicals. And I was when I moved to the UK, so I got this opportunity of like trading multiple things. So back in India, you cannot like trade very actively in forex or futures space, right? So it's not totally legal in terms
Why
of
is
like.
that? Is it? So it wasn't legal.
Yeah, it's not totally legal. You can trade on a prop firm because we are doing simulated trading. But if you are trading in a broker account, then it would be considered like a lot of things of restrictions, FEMA law, and all that stuff. So when I moved to the UK, I got this opportunity of like exploring other domains as well because I'm already a trader. I am already into futures and options. So I was exploring multiple domains. That's where I started from forex. I think forex I started like 3 years back. Back then, I started with I started with HFT firms. I think if you know, like FundingPips started there as well as a HFT firm. Like we used to do that at that time, and that's where my journey started. So I used to start with HFT firms. I know how to trade, but I was very struggling to pass the challenge where like you need to make that 10% or like 15%, right? So that kind of changed right now. So I was like much more comfortable after trading and getting some money back in terms of payouts and all that stuff. So that's where the journey started, and then
So how
slowly
long did it take you to become profitable? Sorry.
I was profitable back then in India as well. So I
Okay.
was like, I took like maybe 1 to 2 years initially to get profitable, but
Mm-hmm.
the core concepts apply the same no matter what market you're trading. Like even if it's an Indian market, even if it's forex futures, the risk
Mm-hmm.
reward principles, the discipline, everything stays the same. So when you're like going ahead and coming back into this forex space, I was pretty much comfortable to trade very actively. Yeah, it's not
You must
super.
be married.
No, I'm not. I think I'm the unmarried trader, which which is profitable. Uh, so yeah,
All right,
yeah,
that's great.
that's where
All
it
right.
started, and that's how it's been. Yeah. So it
All
was an
right.
incredible journey. I think funding pips really changed the game for me. Then when I started, I was mostly doing into instant funding and all that stuff. But after that, uh, when I started with funding pips, that was the turning point. I should say in my prop firm journey. I started with one account, got max funded, and it was back to back payouts after that.
Well, that's nice. That's quite a ride. So, um, what is your method, and how did you build your strategy around it? I believe all of us are like coming from technical backgrounds, right? We're
Yeah.
not like none of us is like flipping coins, correct?
No, not really flipping coins. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, everyone here is a technical analyst, somewhere or not a
Yep.
technical trader, right?
Yep.
So, how did you build your strategy, and what is your strategy?
Um, so I trade majorly by using a lot of data backed systems, I should say. Uh, I still trade price action. I still trade trend lines. I still trade all of the uh, things which are like said these things would not work, like breakouts, trend lines, like everything of that sort.
Yeah,
But I trade the context much more than the patterns. So the patterns would work when the context is right. So if you see like if you are in a higher high trend and you're trying to trade a trend line breakout for a buy side, then obviously the trend line should work if the structure is pretty
I
much
think
intact,
I think
right?
if you want if you would like to share your screen, that would
Yeah.
be easier for people to understand
Yeah, I'll do that. No worries. So I'll also
instead
explain
of
the
just
trade
like visualizing.
which I took. So how do I trade? It's a very basic principle. So I do have some key levels which are marked on the chart. And what are these levels? These are the levels which are derived based on the standard deviation of gold. So if someone doesn't know, it might be way too technical for some of them, but standard deviation is in a very simple language. Let's say if gold is closing at this price, from this particular price, what is the next week's expected momentum, right? So this can be somewhere from here to here, right? So that's what
Did you
standard
share your
deviation is.
screen? Did you
I,
share your
I'm
screen?
I'm
Yeah,
sharing my screen. So
here it
I
is.
think
Yeah,
it came now, right?
it just came up. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. So I'll just explain. So I have these key levels which are like marked out. So the blue ones are like the weekly levels, and the yellow ones are like the intraday levels. So after the weekly closing, so for example, this was the weekly closing, and from here, the expected move for gold is anywhere between this and this. So that's what one standard deviation says. So one standard deviation has a probability that gold is going to stay within this range for 68% of the times. Most of the times this is going to be the same, like it wouldn't break on most of the occasions. So for this week, the one standard deviation is already hit by yesterday, right? So uh, there are instances where market could go until 2 standard deviation and 3 standard deviation, but that's kind of very rare because these standard deviation levels are built based on futures and options data. So someone who is an option seller is actually sitting at these places selling these strikes. For example, 3,500 or 3,530, 520 is the strike which they will sell in their options. So what happens is when price is coming towards this level, most likely they will try to safeguard these positions, or let's say if price breaks, they'll try to hedge their positions by either selling more future contracts of gold, or like doing some optional option strategies so that they can hedge their positions on the buy side. So I trade using these key levels, and my targets for the week are mostly this one standard deviation. So once the one standard deviation is hit, I don't like to trade anymore for that week, because most of the time what happens is there's a very huge fight which is happening between the sellers and buyers. So if you see even today's price action, it's kind of like very choppy and very like not very clean when compared to the last 2 days where the one standard deviation was hit, right? So I just took a trade in the morning. So there was a Asia sweep, although it was not a sweep on the CFD chart, but there was a sweep on the futures chart. So you can very clearly see there was a sweep on the futures chart. It was a liquidity sweep, and there was a structure shift, slow, higher high, higher low. It was trading within the range pre New York. That's where the trade got originated. So market came down, took support from the intraday level, this key level which I marked out, and that's where I took the trade. I targeted the Asia high, and I kind of exited somewhere here when the 15 minutes like broke the low. So it's a very simple system. I trade still the retail patterns,
Yeah,
but
very
I trade
interesting.
with the context.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I trade with the context. So it's pretty much the same even for NAS as well. So you can see these are the levels for NAS if we see on a hourly time frame, right? So market started at the median. So this was the median, which is the midpoint of the weekly level. That's where it dropped yesterday. From there, again, it reversed and came back to the median, right? So it's currently consolidating. It did not hit one of the levels. So I'm still interested to buy towards the upper side level, which is at 23,880. But in terms of gold, my targets are done because it's very hard for gold to like, go until 2 standard deviation.
Yeah.
The target which you said, which is 3,600, if you see, right? So this was the median, and this was the top. So that's around 73, 74 points. So if we do a 2 standard deviation, that's where it would come. So that's around 3,596. So that's 2 standard deviation. So the probability of it going to 2 standard deviation is very less, and it could go. It's not like it won't. But if you see the data for the last 1 year, maybe it would have gone for like 11 times, or like 11% of the times out of 100. So
Let's pray for the 12th time
yeah, that's preferred.
so that I
That's
can stop trading this year. Yes.
yeah. So this is how I trade. It's a very simple system. I incorporate liquidity sweeps or the stop hunts. I still trade the trade patterns. So you can see these are the patterns which I still trade, and it's just that the context would be right. So if it is bullish, I only look for like bullish side entries, and if it's like bearish, I only look for bearish side entries. So it's pretty much simple system which I trade.
That's very interesting. You use statistics, you use sweeps, you use sessions.
Yeah.
It is simple, but it's like you need to know your shit. If
Yeah,
you're trading,
it looks
so,
simple,
yeah.
but it's all packaged as a model. So it's like mostly if someone is like looking to basically build a particular trading strategy or a trading system, I would say you would have to write the trading strategy in an if else statement. So let's say if so and so thing happens, what do you do next? Then,
Yeah.
right? Or else if so and so doesn't happen, then what do you do that, right? So it has to be so simple that you give that if else statement to someone else, they should be able to trade it. That's what a trading strategy or a system is. If that's not the case, then it's very very difficult to like trade it on a very discretionary basis. So whatever we are trading is very discretionary. It's not like automated or like semi-automated to understand that, oh, this is the pattern, this is like an engulfing candle, and you would basically trade it. So you would have to have that if else statement. Let's say there is a liquidity sweep, then what would you do? Let's say there is no liquidity sweep, then what would you do? So that's how your trading system or a strategy should be built. That's what I feel.
Wow, that was nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, hopefully someone
Me too.
would have got some idea on how do they do it.
We
All
want
right.
ZAMCO to talk, man. ZAMCO, please talk. Someone is
Over to
saying,
ZAMCO.
I hope it's a woman, because they're saying ZAMCO's smile is very attractive. So I hope that's a woman. Or not, because you're married. So, okay, they want you to talk, my man. Go ahead, please. Tell us how you trade, please. I think you're muted. Yeah, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Sorry for the mic quality. I think my cable is broken for this mic. Should be much
No
better.
problem.
It is what it is. All right. So let me share my screen. So in the morning, I'm not personally in this trade, but my brother took this trade, and it was perfectly valid. I was watching it, but I was driving at the time, so I couldn't get the entry right. So basically, for German 40, what we can see is we had a sweep of Asian lows. Now, a lot of people, they make the mistake where they see price push up, market structure shift, or like something like that, and then they think to buy on the retracement, right? But they fail to understand liquidity, because if you look down here, you can see 1, 2, 3, 3 taps down here at the Asian lows. That's just screaming liquidity. I did not want to buy from here. So what I tend to do for my strategy is all I do is wait for liquidity sweeps and try to catch the reversals. So I couldn't get an entry down here after we had swept the Asian lows. So once we pushed up and we had a market structure shift to the upside right here, all we did was wait for price to retrace into some sort of fair value gap. And on the 1 minute time frame, we could see a very clear, chunky sized bullish fair value gap down here. So that's where the buy was taken. And we're kind of just targeting the next hourly fair value gap, which is up here. We do have one right here, which we came quite close to. So we would be taking off profit right there. But I would personally like to see price come all the way up to here. But I think max we'll probably see is around about this region today. And tomorrow we might push up into this region, and that's where we can maybe sell down from. But overall, my strategy is sweep of liquidity, market structure shift, fair value gap in a premium or discount, and you just continue the trend. So that's pretty much all I do. So hopefully that makes sense. I've personally entered a buy. Where is it? On the 30-minute time frame, we had this 30-minute fair value gap right here. So as we were touching it right here, that's where I just took my buy. So I am anticipating price to at least sweep this high up here. So I'm in buys on German 40 to sweep this high. So hopefully that explains my strategy. It's very simple. Just liquidity, market structure shift, and yeah.
The simpler, the merrier. But was it this way like for the past 7 years, or did you make improvements to your strategy?
Oh, well, initially I started off with the obvious support and resistance. That's kind of what I was trading. Support and resistance, trend lines, and then I started using Fibonacci retracements. Then I started using EMAs, parabolic SARs, RSI. I used all of these things, but none of them really gave me the edge. I didn't really see like one working much better where it's like, oh, this is actually pretty good. It kind of works quite well. I didn't really see that, but I saw my most like the light, I think, when I started trading supply and demand, because it was very simple. It was simply just wherever the impulsive moves happen and it breaks structure, price usually comes back to that impulsive area and then continues further. So that concept I used a few years ago, and over time is refined more and more. to what it is now. So I wasn't always trading this way, but now I understand that trading this way is actually one of the best ways to do it. You're just following market structure, you're following liquidity, and you're following premium and discount pricing. It's literally how I believe people should be trading.
So how long have you been like? How long has this been locked in as your strategy, as your like?
For 1 year, over 1 year, and
Yeah.
it's
So
done wonders. So I'm doing something right, I think.
yeah. I'm asking because I'm trying to analyze what went well for you, because like people are watching, and I think they want to know. So it's not only psychology and the self-reflection; it's also the strategy. You found your edge also 1 year ago, as well as getting married and changing your mindset or your let's say having a psychological boost, so to
Yeah.
speak. So yeah, that's great. So guys, do you have anything now? Do you have any trades? Do you have any setups?
Mm,
Still
I'm
the
not
same.
really liking how things are moving right now.
Yeah, it's
Not really.
I don't like it. No, I can't find anything. The only thing I think will give us something of value now is Euro USD. So let me check 1 second. Surprisingly, because Euro does not move. Not even Euro, no, not yet. We don't have a setup. Okay, let's see if anyone has any questions. Someone is saying, thank you for the pre-market briefing. You're welcome. ZAMCO is my love. Uh, yeah, the one calling you calling your smile attractive as a man. Okay, great. Only for Saai. Let's connect. Nice. Best community. Guys, give us some questions. Use us.
I feel like gold's going to keep going up. We've retraced into an hourly fair value gap. Yeah, 30-minute fair value gap right here. I feel like now we're just going to push up, at least sweeping these highs up here. Oh, we're pushing. But yeah, as we're pushing up, just quick little retracement into this 30-minute fair value gap. So I feel like now, yeah, just a nice push up to sweep these highs at least. So that would be good to see. Yeah.
I agree. I think that's what's going to happen.
But it's gold at the end of the day.
Someone is saying, yeah, sorry.
No,
Keep
go
going.
for it.
No, someone is just saying I should smile a little bit more. So yeah, there it goes.
Smiling is good.
Yeah, like when I'm focused, I don't smile. That's I think the Jordanian blood. Nothing to do about that.
Oh, there's a question. ZAMCO, did you ever feel sad and cry when you lose or when you lost?
That's a good question, actually. Yeah, that's a good question.
Yes, I did. I think the worst one was where I had my own personal capital. I grew like 100 or 500 pounds. I don't know, approximately that. I grew it to 25,000 pounds in like 1 week, and I lost it all in one day. And I cried at night, and I think for 4 days or 5 days I couldn't really eat because I felt so sick in my stomach. Like, how could I have done that? So I've cried a few times over frustration over the 6 years of unprofitability, and it is what it is. I mean, it's a really tough thing to do, to go through 6 years of just failing again and again and still pushing through. It does get to you at times. So it did break me down here and there, but I'm happy. I'm happy that I went through that.
So, what's your biggest loss ever?
Okay. $73,000 in one day.
Wow.
Okay. So, that was after you became profitable or before?
Yeah, after I became profitable, it was on a prop firm. I grew the account up to 73,000 and I lost it all in one day because I just started taking stupid trades.
Wow.
But that didn't hurt me as much as when I lost 25,000 when I was, a few years ago. So it was a bit interesting to observe that I could lose 73,000 and I didn't really care that much. I was like, oh damn, that was stupid, but that's about it. But when I had lost the 25,000 a few years ago, that was horrendous for me.
Yeah, that hit harder than the 73, I'm sure.
Yeah, because I guess because I was unprofitable and I've never seen money like that, it was like a huge thing for me. So yeah, losing that, of course, is gonna hurt more.
Yeah. What about you guys? Rosa?
Yes.
Hello, hello. What's the
Yeah,
biggest
yeah.
amount? What's your biggest loss in trading? What was your biggest loss in trading?
It was around 19,000
In one trade?
in
Yeah, in one trade.
in one trade
Yeah.
out of my private capital.
Oh my God, that's
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. One trade overnight. I just forgot to shut down the system I was trading, and I screwed up around. I'm not sure it was 19,000 or 17,000, but still a lot of money out of my private capital. So I learned a very important lesson, but it hit very hard. That's the truth. Very, very hard. Still, I recovered over time, and I had to take things slowly and build up from the beginning again. Yeah,
That's a
sad
lot.
reality. Hmm.
What about you,
But
Said? Yeah, sorry. Keep going, please.
Yeah,
no,
Rosa.
no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
For me, like it was not a single trade, but they were stacked one after other, like a scale in after scale in. I think it was around $10,000. That's the max I lost.
That's
It's not too bad, in my opinion.
Sai,
But
you sound like the wisest of all. You've been
so I
profitable for a long time. You didn't lose a lot. So, cheers, man.
no, I came from a very decent trading background. So my dad used to like trade stocks. So my foundation at least was right in terms of like trading. So that's how it's been. So yeah, I was stupid sometimes, but not like crazy stupid. Like I still lost money, but it's not like a lot. Yeah.
So, can we all agree that it was like because of nothing technical, but everything to do with psychology?
I agree.
I say yes. My first
Yeah.
big loss from like a personal account was $30,000. But that became child's play after a while. I started losing way much more money. But like even while I was profitable, I was losing big tickets, but because like the amount is big. Um, but my first stupid loss was $30,000. That was the first big loss I had, and it was because of psychology and mainly greed. I wanted to make like I remember like $200,000 in a couple of days. So yeah, that happened. So it was great. Okay, someone is please analyze gold chart.
We're on gold.
Yeah.
Let's
Maybe I
expect
read it a bit late. 1 second.
maybe, yeah.
People are calling you a market maker, Zamco.
Yeah. It's
That's
I
a
don't
good
know how to
nickname.
say it. Huh?
That's a good nickname.
Yeah, it is, but it doesn't feel good when you lose and people think you're a market maker, and then they say you're a bad trader because you lost a trade. It's like, well, it's part of the process.
Yeah.
I'm not a market maker. I do take lots of losses. But that's the advice I always give to beginners. Like, you just have to understand that losses are absolutely necessary. I would say it's absolutely necessary. You have to take losses. So
if
yeah.
you're so great, why don't you trade without stops? Right?
Exactly.
Let me check from my mobile if there are any questions.
Please
UPUSD.
explain some strategy for beginners. The best strategy for beginners is just looking at highs and lows, higher highs and higher lows, and lower highs, and just follow market structure. Just reading where price continues moving from, where it retraces. Just follow market structure. Follow higher highs and higher lows. That's it. Or lower lows and lower highs. I think that's the most basic thing you could do.
Yeah, basically just go with the trend. Yeah.
Follow the trend. That's it. How you enter, that's a different story. But overall, the most basic strategy is follow the trend wherever you see prices moving.
I see this problem. Like Samko, you were telling like you trade the supply and demand. I see some of my students in the mentorship, like they come over, they are a supply demand trader, but they are trading like 4x supply demand, and market would be making a lower low on the 1h time frame, and they are looking to buy at a 4h demand, and they just get chopped out over there. So I told like your strategy is not wrong, the time frames which you align is very wrong, right? So I like, what kind of time frames do you actually look at when you're looking at the supply demand? I know your entries are on the 1 minute time frame, but in terms of supply demand, what is the highest time frame would you actually go?
So I think the highest I would usually go is monthly.
Okay.
And monthly isn't really looking at supply and demand. I use fair value gaps a lot.
Okay.
Now, I don't like using the word fair value gaps. I used to call them inefficiencies or imbalances. That's what I used to call them. But then ICT came along and gave it the name fair value gaps. But everyone knows that for some reason. But
Yeah.
So basically, I do use fair value gaps for majority of my entries and areas. So basically, let me see if I can. So let's see. This is daily time frame, not the best, because it's just constantly going up. But for example, let's say gold is pushing up, right? And we have this big daily fair value gap here. Obviously, we have more all along here, but let's just assume this was the only one. And we are overall bullish. Now, when the next daily candle opens, we might see a sweep of this low right here, this wick low. So this daily wick low that's over here, you might see the next daily candle push down, breaking this daily low, and then people might actually think we're bearish for the day because the daily candle's bearish. But actually, I'm just using this daily fair value gap to assume that we're just going to flip back bullish and continue even further because the overall trend is bullish. So let's assume we have this daily fair value gap. That's kind of where I'm starting off. And then I start to refine that. So now we have a 4 hour from here to there. Okay, so then I refine it even more. 4 hour, cool. Then I drop to the hourly. Now within this structure, from this low to this high, we have one fair value gap here and one over here on the hourly. Now, if I take this one, is that risky? Yes, because there's one right below it. So I'd rather take this one. So now I'm starting to refine that daily fair value gap into an hourly. Now that hourly can also be refined down to, like, let's say the 30-minute, but I don't really like the look of that because it's a bit too tight. So overall now, I have an hourly fair value gap from this low to this high. So as you can see, we've pushed it up, creating a higher high, pushed down, higher low, pushed up even more, breaking this high. So now we have another higher high. So now I'm just following structure. So now I'm going to expect price to retrace down to this region because it's an hourly fair value gap within a daily fair value gap, and expect price to continue up like this. So that's kind of how I break down market structure and the areas that I want to
what's
use.
the price? Because like the text is too small, we can't see. So
sorry,
what's the price you're expecting to retrace to?
3509. So
Yeah, I
approximately.
agree. That's what. Yeah, I found that level today, but I don't use fair value gaps, so I was just like cross checking.
Yeah, see that's a very interesting thing because we can use different strategies, but we can still
Come up with the same
come up with
entry or whatever. Yeah.
exactly, but we just see it differently. So that's absolutely fine. And I don't know if gold's actually going to continue up. I wanted it to sweep this high and then come down, but we might not get that. But yeah, so hopefully that answers your question. It's not just basic like we have one supply area or demand area and that's it. It's like, no, I'm using a daily and refining it down to now this hourly area. And then once we get to that area, I'm not just going to buy straight away. So this is another confluence. Once price gets there, I want to look at this sort of formation on the 1 minute time frame in this area down here. So it's aligning everything. We're already bullish. We're coming to a bullish fair value gap. And on the 1 minute time frame, we're shifting structure to bullish again. And then I'm using a 1 minute bullish fair value gap. It's like everything is screaming bullish, bullish, bullish. Market structure is bullish. So then I'm just taking my entry and then catching the whole move up. So that's kind of how I follow market structure and use my areas of inefficiency. And another thing is premium and discount pricing. So if you mark out your low to your high, another thing is you can see that this area is sitting below 50%. And just based off retail marketing, anything that's below 50% is a discount. So if price is coming down 50% of what it previously was from this high to this low, you're in a discounted region. Institutions are more likely to buy in a discounted area. So that's why if you were to buy from this fair value gap up here, it's probably not going to work most of the time because you have a discounted area below. And this area right here is above discounted pricing. So again, institutions don't want to be buying in a premium. They want to buy in a discount, and they want to sell in a premium and not sell in a discount. So that's another confluence as well. So it's all of these things aligned for one trade for me. So that's how I go about it.
Got it. Can you break down one of your recent trade? I actually did, but let me do it again. ZAMCO, I'm taking over.
Okay.
Okay. So it's pretty simple. One, the first step which I do is like, what is the bias for the day? So the bias for the day is what, like, for example, ZAMCO uses like fair value gaps. I use like the breakout of a structure. So let's say market made a higher high over here. And all I'm looking to is like just buy, right? That's what I do, right? So when do I shift my bias? Whenever market makes a lower low. For example, over here, let's say a 4-hour time frame makes a lower low, that's where I'll start my shift to bias. So I am bullish starting from here, and I'm just looking to buy. So you can say I'm just looking to buy, right? Again, I'm just looking to buy. So as an intraday trader, I would have got multiple of these forex candles on daily basis. That's what I do. So even today, I got this forex candle, right? So this forex candle, which is currently printing, the trade actually happened over here. So will I be wrong if there is a shift? Yeah. But what I prefer to do is, let's say if the trend is going buy, I just prefer to do buy until the trend confirms that there is a sell, and then give me a pullback, sell. That's what I do. And gold is mostly a trending instrument. So I mostly look to like follow the trend in the direction wherever it is going. So for example, in this trade, the trend was already buy starting from here. It never turned bearish. So on a 15 minutes or like a 5 minutes time frame, I just wait for the sessions to play out. Obviously, I'm in London, so I won't trade the Asia. Very rarely I would trade the Asia whenever there is like a good momentum in the openings whenever before I sleep. But I don't trade the Asia or the Sydneys. And what happened was like in the London session, there was a sweep. So the sweep happened in the gold chart, although it did not happen in the CFD chart. So the sweep happened, and how do I confirm the sweep? I do use a tool called Bookmap. So Bookmap basically shows a level 2 CME data where you would see a lot of orders which are pending on the higher side or the lower side. Actually, Bookmap is the traditional support and resistance because the market generally moves based on orders, and it moves based on liquidity. So there was an up push at this level. There was an intraday level which I marked out. So I did get a buy in the London session, but the momentum was not really great. So I kind of exited over here, and I just waited for pre-New York or the New York to open. That's where this channel was forming. There was a liquidity sweep. Buys were looking good. So I just waited after the session. Generally, what happens is my sessions are timed in such a way that they would be reversals or they would be like any kind of like continuations planned out. So there was this London session end, and there was a retracement back into the level. That's where a strong bullish candle formed. There was an entry over here. I kind of exited somewhere at the Asia high. So I took it in my master account. So just to show it to you, this is my master. So currently it's in a 3K profit. I'm gonna request it on Tuesday. So this was the trade. The first trade I just kind of exited in the London. So it was a very small loss, like 800. The second one I did exit at the top. So that's around 1800. So it's that's how it is. So currently 3K secured. So most of the guys who know me, they know that my payouts are mostly around 3% targets, and that's how I've got close to like 140 150K payouts in FundingPips. All of them are like 3 to 5%. I don't overtrade. Once 3 to 5% is secured, I just stop trading in that account. I just take a new account if I have to. So that's the trade overall, to break it down. So it's a very simple. Trend lines were used, channels were used, and the key levels were used, liquidity was used, everything combined into one strategy.
That was clear. So, guys,
And
any
most of the
setups?
times,
Yeah.
as a day trader, the sessions ideally play a very key role when you're trading it. So I don't like this kind of price action. So if you see New York opens and starts to like consolidate, this is happening because of the news. Like I think we have the news within like 7 minutes or 8 minutes. I don't know what time it is. I think we have it at 3 o'clock, the job openings. So that's around 1 hour from now. So I don't like this price action because it is preparing for news. But whereas if you see like any other day, right? So for example, if you see this London, it was a clear downtrend. So once the session actually starts, it would most probably do only one thing. Either it would buy or it should sell, right? So you see like it should buy or it should sell. So you see this New York, very clean price action. So most of the time the sessions would do only one thing. So let's say it started with a buying, it just ends up buying, right? Buying, right? Selling, right? Buying. So as a day trader, sessions are like a very key important thing on how you would use them to your advantage. It also depends on how are the sessions stacked. So let's say like these are all golden nuggets which I'm saying. So let's say the session is like this. So you can see Asia was like a consolidation. The London was also a consolidation. They are stacked beside each other. And you see the New York did the manipulation and then flew off. That's the distribution leg, right? I don't like to trade the price action which is like this. So you see the Asia, London, and the New York almost lined up inside each other. This is something like a doji candle until it gives a breakout. So I'm not very comfortable trading these ranges. So I like these expansion days where like the expansion move happens, or like the liquidity sweep happens in London and then a reversal happens. You can use any session indicator. It's not like you would have to use. I use something called as Vincent FX by sessions by Vincent FX. But you just have to like shift the timings and adjust it.
So someone is asking you to explain your risk management.
My
That's a
risk
good.
management is pretty simple. In the challenge accounts, I just trade with a 2% risk and a 1:3 or a 1:2 TP based on the target which I have to achieve. And if it is like if a funded account, all I do is like a 1% to 1.5% and a 3% TP. So once I get a 3% TP, that's trading done for that account, right? So I just wait until the payout, or I just trade another account. That's as simple as that. That's how I've been able to get like 55 payouts from FundingPips.
So, do you have any rules for how many trades you take per day?
Mostly it would be one good trade a day. So if I get one good trade a day, that's pretty much trading done for the day.
Yeah.
I don't like enter a lot of trades. I'm very picky in those trades. Like I wait for the right session, right alignment, right price action. Everything has to be right for me to like take the trade. So I'm very picky. Although I might miss some trades as part of that, but kind of very picky in some of the trades.
Okay. Picky is good in trading. Picky is pretty good.
Yeah,
Uh,
people what they do is like they think, okay, I would have to take two setups a day, but why do you need to take two setups a day? Like just break it down for me. Your targets in a two-step pro account or like a two-step account are like hardly like you don't have to take multiple trades. You don't have a consistency rule with FundingPips, and you have a 7-day payout if it's a pro account, or let's say if you're going for like a monthly payout, that's a different story. Monthly payout, I would still say if you're going for a monthly payout, that's for like experienced traders. But if you are like a day trader who is very actively trading, just get the bi-weekly payout, which is like 80%, and then take 1 to 2 trades, aim for that 3% to 5%, and then just take the money out. Like you would be able to buy at least like 5-6 accounts more, even if you lose it.
yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, Rosa, I think you should answer this question. Um, Someone is asking, they passed the first step and the second step, but when they reach the real account, or the not the real account, the funded account, they lose. So why do you think that is?
It might be for two reasons. The first one is being eager to get the money, real money, to transform monopoly money to real money. That's one of the reasons. And the other one, it's because it's your risk is too high. So um, you have to be confident on your strategy, but more than the strategy is the risk management. So for instance, if you're risking like 5% on every single trade, you have to be very, very sure your strategy supports that. So the main point when you backtest a strategy is not how profitable is the strategy going to be, but the only point I pay attention to is how many losing trades I will have in a row and how often. So these two questions are extremely related. So then I can scale up my risk based on these two factors, because looking at a strategy backtest or a strategy you've been testing or backtesting by hand and saying profit factor is 3 or risk reward is just amazing or ratio okay, a trade ratio is like 70%, 90%. Okay, that works very well on paper, but a professional trader, not only a prop firm, but also with your own capital trader, knows these statistics are not real at all because it depends on the broker you're doing it. So it's very difficult to backtest a strategy properly. So that's why I don't pay attention to that numbers. So how many losing trades in a row are you going to have? How often they do happen? And then scale up your risk and be consistent. So it's very important. I think Saai said that you have to write down your strategy on a paper and step 1, 2, 3, 4. And to me, that's a personal thinking. To me, a strategy has to be 100% objective and systematic, or at least 98%. So the moment you start thinking this area is too big, too hard, too small, but there's news, there's no news, the moment you start thinking, the strategy won't be consistent. Because you have to, I mean, as a human being, not a robot, you have to add some context to the strategy, but that context has to be extremely boxed. Like 2% of the strategy has to be your knowledge, your context, nothing more than that. Otherwise, you're not following the same strategy every single day. So imagine a factory making cars and people thinking about it. There's machines because they have to make 1,000 cars a day the very same way. So all of the cars have to have like 4 doors. And that's why there are some rules. And why they achieve these numbers to get out of the door 1,000 cars every day, because they do exactly the same every single day, no hesitation. To me, trading is like a factory. It's not, at least what's working with me, and it's been working for years already. So it's very important, if you want to not lose your funded account, being consistent, manage your risk, and keep going. So that would be my advice.
That's great. I love your analogies. Trading is like a factory. This should be like clippers. Take notes. This is one. Trading should
Yeah,
be like a factory.
to be honest, I think trading, so you make money out of trading in 1,000 different ways. So you can be a scalper, a swing, you can use support and resistance, you can use simple moving averages. So it's very creative. But once you have found the way you like to do your trading, you have to be very consistent and repeatable. So there's no emotions involved in trading, at least to me, to my
Which
way of
makes
seeing
it,
the market.
which makes it scientific because anything scientific has to be repeatable.
And
So
you can measure it, and anything you can measure, you can improve.
exactly.
That's a takeout
Well,
from when I was working on multinationals, leading hundreds of people. So you have to be able to measure everything, and the only way of measuring something is doing the same once and again, so you can have a statistic, a reliable statistic behind your trading, and understanding maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon is not your best trade. It's not the best moment to trade, and you have to see that on your own statistics. Someone's asking
well,
me, sorry, but someone's
yeah.
asking, how are you able to master the key levels on gold? Still buffers aft your level of accuracy? Oh, I'm not understanding the second part of the question. On one time frame, still baffles aft after you, I don't know.
They're they're basically saying that they're impressed by your ability and accuracy. So I think just say thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
By the way,
It's not
guys,
easy.
we're at all-time highs now in gold.
Yeah. What's the name of the indicator that does the daily candle? It's ICT higher time frame by Fadi. This is the one. You'll get like multiple candles in it, 1 hour, 4 hour. You just have to disable everything and just enable the daily candle. It should look like this.
Key levels on gold, Adept Mind is asking that. Key levels on gold is because my trading is very simple. And it's because no one's expecting these levels to happen. So every single person trading in the world is seeing the same candles. Let's say we are all watching at gold, right? So we are all whole worlds watching the same candles as I'm seeing now. And it's very easy to identify a fair value gap, liquidity, so on and so forth, and in higher time frames. So my thinking was, if everyone's seeing the same candles, every single person in the world is watching the fair value gap, or whatever name you want to call it. So I started looking for in 1 minute time frame. I decided I didn't want to go higher than that, because that's to understand what's going on in the market. But the real action happens in 1 minute. To be honest, it happens in 15 seconds. And I've been trading 15 seconds for a while. And it provides me with even more accuracy. But since MetaTrader doesn't allow that, 1 minute was okay. So in 1 minute, you have to think before price takes off in any direction, up or down, what happened. And if you look very carefully, you won't see, maybe there's a fair value gap or something there, but the exact point the movement started and it never came back, that these are my levels. And they work because for now, I think not many people are seeing these levels. So that's why my levels, the levels I always give you, that's why they work nicely, and they've been working very nicely for 2 years already. So maybe they won't work in the future, but now they are literally gems. And as you have been watching on past live streams, price always reacts and hit the level to the T, and then they react. Yeah, so it's very difficult to provide with a specific label, not an area, not a zone, but a specific point the price has to get there. And also I realized price tend to reach these levels within a time frame of 2 hours. Otherwise the level it's useless. And that's why I've been trying to show you these levels over the live streams.
ZAMCO, how do you control your drawdown? I wait for almost 15 to 20 days to see my A plus setup. Even though it's A plus, it still stops me out. Then I try to recover that loss because I've waited for very long. It's a question to you.
That's a tricky one because I don't know what the strategy is. Is it even a good strategy, for one? Two, every strategy has losses. I can have the most perfect setup and I can still lose. That's absolutely fine. But if you're having to wait 15 days for the most optimal, best setup, and you want to get out of drawdown, I feel like you shouldn't really be waiting that long for setups. I don't think you should only have to wait for A+++ setups. Like, there could be some that are, somewhat following your strategy, and I think you should just take them regardless, because a lot of them can probably win. but it's really, really dependent on how you trade, because you can't really answer that question for people because I don't know what your strategy is. So it's a tricky one. But with my strategy, if I'm waiting for my setups and I'm going into drawdown, one advice I'd give you is not to reduce your risk. And the reason for that is because if you finally do get that winning trade, if you've reduced your risk, you're not going to make back much money. But if you keep your risk the same, then the numbers are just much better. Don't increase your risk, because then you go deeper in drawdown very quickly, but also don't reduce your risk, because the moment that one trade does win, you're not going to make back much. So keep your risk pretty much consistent, keep it the same. So I think that's how I personally handle drawdown. I just keep my risk the same and I just wait for my setups and I just let the numbers do its thing. So yeah.
Makes sense.
And gold is amazingly pushing up from that 30-minute fair value gap that I marked. So that's really good. I need it to push up to 3,567 and I'm out.
Today there.
That'd be nice. And yeah, there's nothing to the left, by the way. It's all-time highs. So I'm not picking out a random number because I see something. It's like I just need that to pass my phase ones. That's it for something else. So that's all. I just need 3,567 and I'll pass. So that'd be a great win.
Yeah, I think that's the difference in my strategy. There is always a level at the top. There's always a level at the top because the standard deviation will obviously give some kind of a level at the top. So I do have a reference that, okay, it's going towards this rather than staying blind when we are going at all-time highs. So that's the only difference which...
Yeah, that's true. The only issue with my strategy is when it's at all-time highs, I have no target because I don't know. I need some sort of previous structure, but I guess the standard deviation thing is something I've heard quite a lot and it's pretty cool. Is it similar, would you say, to Fibonacci extensions? Is it kind of similar to that?
Not really. So what happens in standard deviation is standard deviation, it takes a lot of factors from the volatility of the instrument. So it depends on the VIX. For example, you might be knowing what is VIX, right? So it depends on the VIX, like what is the current volatility of the instrument, what is the global factors. There is internal decoding of like a lot of options data, which is like gamma, theta, rho. So it depends like how is the interest rate and all that stuff. So based on that, this volatility actually changes when gold is moving like sideways and when gold is trending. So if it's trending, obviously the levels get wider and wider. So if the range is bigger, automatically the levels get wider because the volatility has increased for that instrument.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. So that's one good thing.
So that line you have up there, that will constantly keep changing. Is that what you're saying?
It changes for the day. So the yellow ones changes for the day. The blue ones will not change for the day because gold has 3 expiries. One is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So based on the expiry data, these levels would change on like every day. And the blue ones are based on the weekly expiry. So whenever the option contracts expire for the weekly, so based on that, these were driven. So that's they stay constant.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's okay. That's pretty cool. I never knew much about that, but that does make sense.
Where is ZAMCO from? I think he's from UK. I'm from UK. I think we might be meeting ZAMCO. I think I'll be coming to the expo, the London expo on 26th or 27th, right?
Oh, you're coming to the expo. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll meet.
Nice.
I'll meet you over there.
I'm trying to lose weight because I'm too fat. So I have 1 month to the expo, well, just under 4 weeks. So I'm on my keto diet now. So I'm really trying to cut weight because if I'm on stage, so I don't want to look bad. I don't know. I just want to lose weight.
Is it the London Trader Show you're talking about?
Yeah, the London Prop Firm Expo.
Prop Firm. Yeah. Okay, so it's the 27th.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So they've invited me to be a speaker on the main stage for, I think, yeah, for half an hour. And then there's another half an hour that I'll be on main stage again. And then a 1 hour lunch that I'll be doing with traders. And then another half an hour at another booth. So I'll be going all over the place on that day. So I know that a lot of eyes are going to be on me. So I need to lose some weight. So that's my target right now. That's my aim.
Rosa, can you explain anchor points? I think she did it a lot of times, but I'll give it to you, Rosa.
To explain the anchor points. Oh yeah, I can see the question. Anchoring points is something I want disclosure. I want fully disclosure for now, because it's taken me years of understanding what happens before gold takes off. But basically is, let me show my screen.
Sorry about that.
Can you see them? Yeah, okay. So that was an anchor. Price was here. When I put this anchor point, that's an anchoring point. And some people might see the chart while we are here, let's say this area, for instance, and then they think, oh, she's marked this point because there's like a higher high, but it has nothing to do with this liquidity here or here, and not even the maximum. So the anchoring point was this point here, this candle here, and that one here, because I know the pattern. And then while I was here, I thought I won't go in because my setup is not showing up, but the price is going to hit this level and react. And it did. As you can see here, it hit the level, it react, and then it again took off. I was waiting for my setup to show up in these candles here. So I want disclosure how and what do I see and what do I look for to get my precise levels on the screen, at least for now, because as I said, it's taken me years to analyze that. What happened before price took off, and what happens when price does a reaction, gets reactive at some point. And it's not because this is a support and resistance area. Okay, that's fine. Just call it however you like. Doesn't matter. But what happened? What's the pattern that you have to look for repeatedly, like over and over and over? And as I've said before, gold is a symbol so predictable in the sense of it does a pattern and it has to repeat that pattern within the next 2 hours. And it does every single day, at least once, sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times, but at least once the pattern's there. So I would say look carefully what happens before price takes off, and then analyze a few candles back. Just a few. You know, and I've explained that I don't look at any session, London session, Asian session, highs, lows. You know, I don't even do any analysis before I start trading. So if I would start trading right now, like here, that's the analysis I do, these few candles. That's it, just a few candles. Because I move candle by candle, because everything I'm looking for is my anchoring points and filled anchoring points. This one's filled already, so that's done. And now I could look for the next anchoring point, which is sometimes I know, I can't find any anchoring points. I see the pattern very quickly here. So no anchoring points for now. That's it. That's my analysis on gold. I have to wait. So as you know, anchoring points, setup, structure, what happened here before price took off, what happened here before price took off. Same, I don't know. Let's see, a sell-off. What happened here when before price took off as a seller? Same here. For instance, some people say, oh, that's because there's news, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's for sure. But that's not my battle. Why it stopped here? Why not here? Or here? Or here? Why not? What's there? So at this point on news, that's the only time I do something like that. And I go back in time and try to find the same anchoring point on a higher time frame. But just when some news happen, just because I have nothing on the left, as you can see, there's nothing. So I don't have anything here. But I had here. That was yesterday's session. And so, yeah, maybe in the future, I disclosure what an anchoring point is and why, what do I look for to say there's no anchoring point in here. And yeah, maybe in the future, who knows? That's the only thing I'm keeping for myself. The rest you can see me, so you can see me trading in almost every single live stream I've been with FundingPips. I take real trades on the screen so you can know exactly what my exact point of entry and my exit is. And there's nothing for now. I'm waiting. It's in 9 minutes for the US Open, and there's some news. What time
30
is it?
minutes. And 38
40
minutes.
minutes. 38, okay.
Yeah. But I think if you guys are looking for day trades or like scalps, Nasdaq could be a better choice than gold because it's not stopping. So I'm happy, but we cannot catch scalps on it. Scalp trades.
There's also, I was looking at internet, and then there's also the London Trader Show. I was there many years ago. I don't know if it gets any better every year. Have you been there? ZAMCO and Saai?
No, never been.
No, been to.
Rosa, your level on Nasdaq is approaching. It's approaching the numbers you wanted. 23, 409, 408.
Yeah.
And yeah. But you're looking to short the Nasdaq, no?
I'm looking to sell.
To short the Nasdaq, or
I don't know. I still don't know. I never have a bias. It depends on where my setup comes out.
Yeah.
So no bias for now. I have to wait for the session start and then start looking upside.
I wonder how NFP is going to go. It's not as fun as it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be wild.
Yeah, it used to be crazy before, but now not much really happens. Like, I remember there were days where NFP would be happening. I would be looking at gold, and the moment NFP starts, that, like, the chart just freezes, and then randomly it's like 200 pips below. It's just like one huge candle. But that doesn't really happen anymore. I haven't noticed it. It's not very common to see anymore. But that was like standard. Like every NFP that was happening, you just see a huge candle. It doesn't happen much anymore. It's a bit sad. It used to be fun. You just
I
full
think
court
this
in one
one
direction.
probably we might have a big one probably because of the
Yes.
rate cuts, right? So the rate cuts would have an impact as well with the NFP data. So
Yeah, I agree. I think this one will be big, especially if the jobs report comes in cooler than expected, because that would mean like I don't know, like if the Fed starts cutting rates, there's like a Fed meeting on September 17th. If they start cutting rates after that, or they start a cutting cycle or an easing cycle, as they call it, I think we'll start seeing interesting NFPs, ZAMCO. So careful what you wish for.
Well, I'm never in a trade whilst NFP is happening, so I don't mind.
Yeah. But it's fun to watch. Yeah,
It is definitely fun to watch, yeah.
I got you.
ZAMCO, find a fair value gap to lose weight. The fair value gap is 1 meal a day, low carb, and you'll lose weight. Yeah. Very low carbs and 1 meal a day. That's all I have. So that should cut my weight down quite quickly. And exercise. So that's the fair value gap.
And no sugar. And no alcohol.
ZAMCO, please show your cart. I've just ordered off Uber. I can show you my cart. I'm sorry, that was just misspelling. It's funny. Anyways. Is gold pushing? Yep. Cool.
Yeah, it's pushing higher.
It's 100 pips away from my TP. I think that's very manageable with the way it's been moving.
It is, I think.
Because yesterday it just kept going up and up in NY session, so hopefully it can happen today, and then that'd be great. I need to bring back some of my funding. My 300k funding pips is currently being onboarded, so that's fun. Hopefully I don't lose it on NFP or something. I'm going to try to stay out. Come on, gold. Keep going. It's really weird to think that price is moving up, but what does that actually mean? That means people are actually buying gold at all-time highs again and again. It's just interesting to think that you see price at all-time highs and that's when you're buying. Like, imagine now it starts retracing. Like, you're buying at all-time highs, the most worst point to be buying, but people are still buying. It's crazy.
It is. I'm not sure it's people. Could it be like machines just to
and institutions, my friend.
Yeah, and institutions. Because I mean, I've never known.
it could be the cover as well. Like there are a lot of stop losses at the high, and they are just getting covered. Yeah. So it's like an extended
the breakout. You're correct. Yeah, that's right. The stop loss orders above the range, which was the triangle, boosted the breakout. So that's absolutely correct. But the size of the move is mainly caused by smart money just piling in and like charging while that triangle was forming. So once they were ready, it broke above, and I think we'll see the 3,600 this week, hopefully. I think it'll go a lot higher than that, but that's the target. So I'm not gonna change anything. You know what's impressive this year? Silver.
I
Silver,
never look at silver. That's
sil-
interesting.
yeah, silver is great, man. We even buy it like physical silver.
True. Oh, Nasdaq has opened up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see anything that great on Nasdaq. The only thing really is this hourly fair value gap, but I'm not confident on that. It's touching it right now. Could see a push up from here. But it's not ideal. Give some news source, please. Okay, I have the best news source for you. There's something called the Bloomberg Terminal, right? If you get that, it's the best source. I can't even afford it. But it's the best news source that you can have. So get the Bloomberg Terminal. You can purchase that. Oh, my
Or
accounts have just been
or now
onboarded.
they can start with Bloomberg TV. That would be good.
Ah, that's a good point. Yeah. My FundingPips accounts have just been onboarded. Finally.
Good,
So,
good.
Congratulations.
oh, I just missed the gold trade. I could have been in buys for that. Oh man. Oh well.
Rosa is cooking
right.
now.
I am.
Yeah.
I wonder if because I said that I'm waiting for my onboarding, FundingPips had that and they're like, ah, don't worry, we'll speed up the process because you're on stream. We'll get you trading. It's been over a day, so I guess it's standard. But perfect. Now I need to merge it all into a 300k account. Oh, Nasdaq is rejecting that hourly fair value gap. Interesting. For FundingPips, do we still have to select our payout cycle?
I think you do.
Because I don't see an option.
Oh,
And it says trading enabled, so I'm a bit confused.
mm.
I haven't selected a payout date. Maybe you don't need to.
Not sure. I thought you asked me so, like 3 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah, previously you had to, but like my trading's enabled. I can just enter positions right now if I want. That's weird.
Are you in,
Oh,
Rosa?
yeah. I think I missed a trade in gold. No, in Nasdaq, but gold. No. No, not trade. All right. No, I think it's going down. And no setup yet. Let me do that so I can have a look to both of them. Okay, so it's going up. This is the S&P. That one's tricky. That was nice, but I can't go in, no setup, but this here, it's a nice entry. TP would be around here if it stays. But it's not showing my setup yet, so S&P not showing either. Gold. Pretty difficult start of the session. So this setup on Nasdaq, that one is pretty nice, but too far away for me. My setup wasn't there. No. So I'm not sure it's going to make it. It doesn't look like. Okay, no. Going up. All right. I might go in now. I want to buy. No setup either. It's low lows. One, two, three, four. 4 candles. I still have room for one more candle. It has to hit the level in one candle. Come on. That was an amazing buy. But again, no setup, so I have to wait. All right, this area is out already. Useless for us anymore during this session. Gold, no. I'd like to see gold here. There.
Oh, don't say that. I'm in buys.
But then it will go up like a rocket, so don't worry.
Yeah, that's below my entry, so it's not good.
Ooh, okay.
No, just don't say it. It'll be fine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. I'm out on that one, so target not reached. Here. Come on. Nasdaq, there's nothing to do. Was so tricky start of the session. All right, let's do that. I expect gold at least just fall down a little bit, at least here, very rapidly, like in 3 candles from here. Let's see. 3 candles from there. At least here. There. All right. Okay, we're going down. S&P's holding it. No chance on Nasdaq yet. Come on. What time are news coming out? Is in now, like in 2 minutes?
15, 17 minutes.
Oh, 15? Okay.
17 minutes.
Okay, that's why the movement's like that. Yeah, 17 minutes. I don't have time. Oh. No. Ooh. No, nothing. I don't have time to plan for a buy. This is not the expected behavior on gold, so I was at least here and then jump into the buy. But it didn't happen, so in 3 bars, as I said, so I'm out. Still 17 in the window. S&P's holding it. Okay, Nasdaq speeding up. This is the target.
Saif, I didn't ask you, how long have you been trading for?
Just above 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, mostly in banks and financial institutions.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's in gold buys? I just heard someone saying they're in gold buys.
I'm still holding my buys.
Where do you enter?
My entry was 3545.
3545. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good answer.
The level I have marked.
Yeah, exactly. I don't really want to come down.
And I didn't know, so I'm sorry.
Rosa's taking you out, then it's
Yep.
going up.
But
I
that's your
typically-
entry. Are you on break even already?
Nah, I've got no stop loss either. It's fine. I'll let it blow the
Oh.
account if it needs to.
Okay. Going to hit and then I'll buy with you.
Cool.
If this 4-hour candle closes like this, I doubt it's going down.
Yeah.
It's starting to pick up momentum.
Can buy already here. Oh, come on, that one. Sure. I made that one. That was a sell, very clear sell. And I missed that sell on the S&P.
So, what trades other than gold are you in, Rosa?
No. I'm not in any trade yet.
Are you not in any trades?
No, setup's not there. I have to wait.
Yeah.
And my thinking still bearish on gold.
Are you using magic keys?
Not yet. I used to. It's broken, so I'm using my keyboard now, a regular keyboard, and it's giving me a headache because I'm trading my personal account, and I'm very slow. That's why I miss some trades. I'm not quick enough.
Yeah.
I like magic keys though. Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
it's really cool. I don't use it anymore because I mainly just use buy limits and sell limits. But even then, sorry.
Yeah, I was just like listening to you.
Okay. Yeah. So because I mainly use limits now, I don't really use magic keys anymore because I'm not really scalping.
So you're not really a scalper or a day trader, right, ZAMCO?
I'm a day trader, so I get
Day
in and out within the same trade. Yeah, same day.
Same day, but not the same session necessarily. Yeah.
Same, not necessarily the
Not the
same
same
session.
session, the same day.
Yeah. It just depends. Like, I can enter a London session and we can just launch up and break the previous daily high or something, and like that's great. If it happens in London session, then great. If not, I'll just hold it all throughout the day until it does.
Yeah, but what happens if you're almost at your TP, but the day is about to close? What do you do?
Oh, then I just close the trade. I don't hold overnight.
Okay.
If we're hovering like close to my target and like the day's coming to an end, actually it doesn't really matter where we are. As if the day's coming to an end, I just close the trade.
To be honest, I like how you trade because you use limits, you use limit orders, you're pretty disciplined, so respect.
I appreciate that. This guy keeps asking, where is Umar Punjabi? Is he even scheduled for today? No. And he's got some personal stuff to go to. I don't know. You think spamming is going to get you like a good answer? All right, spamming again.
What's happening with our factory girl? Any trades coming out of the factory?
Oh, Nasdaq breaking.
All right, guys. I have some work, so I'll be dropping off and ending here.
Cool, no worries, man. It was nice meeting you for the first time.
Okay, likewise.
Yeah, same here, Zamco. I'll see you in the expo.
All right, bro.
See you.
Take care.
Bye.
Yeah,
Bye
thank you,
bye.
guys. Bye.
Cheers, bye bye.
Zamco, what do you use for your hair? Dabur Amla oil. Take care, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Cheers. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too, bro. Take care.
Cheers. Bye bye.